Welcome back to RedditReeds. Today, we'll be looking at r/EntitledParents, where an entitled dad tries to take a cab from a disabled woman. Before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you can tune in to my next upload. This is a post by Jalen. Background. Me and my whole family, except my mother, were at a summer cottage 2 days ago. Total of 6 people and my grandpa, who came there usually to eat. EM, my stepmom, D, my dad, me. So I was just playing FIFA 20 and doing a squad building challenge, and let's call that SBC, with the Xbox One that we have got in the living room. So I needed a lot of Chinese players in the SBCs because I was doing CSL League SBC. So I was buying the players and looking the SBC on Footbin to find the right players. Also, my siblings were swimming at the time when I was playing, so they're not in this story. So yeah, this is where it all begins. EM appears. Why are you buying Chinese players? Because I need them in an SBC. What's an SBC? Squad building challenge. But do you know the current situation in the world and Chinese people have the virus? Yes, but this is a game, so I can't get the virus from buying Chinese players. You're wrong. They're Chinese, so you'll get the virus and your dad is going to be mad. My dad apparently came to the living room when he heard the word dad, and he asked, "What are you doing here?" He's buying the coronavirus in that game. No, I'm not. They're just Chinese football players. I have to put in an SBC. My son is not buying the coronavirus in FIFA 20. You should go swim to get you calm now, okay? Well, I don't want to go swim because why should I? Also, this is serious because your son is buying the coronavirus in FIFA 20. At this point, I got the players to submit the SBC and, well, I got informed Lorente, so fair profit. I started to do another one after it, but my stepmom grabbed the controller and threw it into the big sea. Luckily, very luckily, it hit my half-brother's head. But he got hurt and the controller didn't get broken. What the hell have you done? You hurt our son and the controller is almost broken. Entitled Mom goes to cure my half-brother by blowing at his head. I'm going to grab the ice bag thing to help his head. Stay here, son. Okay, Dad. I feel like Entitled Mom regrets it a lot. I've never liked Entitled Mom, by the way. She's actually entitled, and I hope my dad gets a divorce, or I don't know. After that, my dad fixed the controller easily with some tools, and we had some fun games after that. I played with my stepbrother too, and it was fun. Dude, this Entitled Mom is actually so dumb. You're gonna get the coronavirus from playing a video game? Seriously, what kind of stupid, racist, I don't even know what kind of person says that. This is a post by The Vegetations. This all took place last winter, but I just remembered it. My mother is disabled and uses a wheelchair, so we are often given extra help navigating airports. We usually leave her personal wheelchair at home when we fly because it's a pain and a half trying to transport it, and our extended family has a spare chair for her to use when we visit. One time, we were told that we would be put up at the front of the cab line because my mother was using one of the airport wheelchairs and they try to free those up as soon as possible for other disabled travelers who might need them. The SkyCap, like a bellhop, but for airports, I think, took our luggage so I could push my mom and took us to the front of the line. This airport was near DC, so they have different taxi services depending on if you want to go into the city or to Maryland. The SkyCap took us to the very front of the line, asked us where we were going, into the city, then walks away so that he could find a free cab from the back of the line for us. We did not steal this man's long-awaited cab. Beside us was a family with 2 little girls. The entitled dad looked pissed and kept shooting me and my mother dirty looks. My mom was tired from traveling and pretty checked out. Otherwise, she probably would have given up the cab to appease this clown. She's nice like that. Luckily for her, her daughter isn't. The SkyCap led the cab past the line of other cabs and gestured for it to pull up in front of us. Immediately, the family cuts past us and the entitled dad starts loading up his luggage while his wife and kids avoid eye contact and get into the car. I was in disbelief, expecting the SkyCap to say something, but he just stood there looking uncomfortable. Excuse me, that's our cab, giving me another nasty glare. We were in line first. We were taken to the front of the line because my mother is disabled. There's no way he didn't see her. She was sitting right beside me. My family has been waiting 15 minutes for this cab. Me gesturing at the SkyCap. He brought this taxi over specifically for us. Where are you headed? Random Maryland address. Sir, this cab only goes to DC. You'll have to get in another one. I gave him the smuggest look I could muster and helped my mom from her chair to the car as he unloaded all his luggage. The sky cap didn't help him, and neither did his wife. Then, he and the cabbie started loading up our bags for us, while the entitled dad hauled all his luggage back to the cab, literally right behind ours, which he could have waited 30 seconds for instead, but someone else had grabbed it while he was busy being a butthole. Dude, come on, how entitled do you have to be to take a cab from a disabled lady? Come on, man, that's just messed up. This is a post by Pretty Girl Can Bake. Years ago, I worked in a now bankrupt toy store. I worked in the baby department, and every few months, there would be a complete change in our merchandise. When this would happen, the old merchandise would be naked down by a manager and placed in the center aisle. One night, I was closing with the supervisor, and a lady walks in looking at a travel system, car seat, base, and then stroller, that had been marked down, but the car seat is missing. The supervisor and I look in the baby department and in the storeroom, but it's nowhere to be found. My supervisor comes back to the lady and cuts the price in half because of the missing car seat. She said that she'll call back to see if we find it. The next day, I'm there at 6 a.m. unloading a truck. As soon as we open, the baby department gets a call. It's the lady asking about the travel system. I told my manager that a lady's on the phone about the travel system that's missing its car seat. She looks at me like, handle it. So I returned to the call and informed her that we were unable to find the car seat, but we will still honor the offer for the stroller if she was still interested. No, the manager last night said he would sell me the whole thing for said price. No ma'am, that price was for the stroller since we were unable to find the car seat. I know what he said, and he was going to sell me the whole thing for that price. I'm sorry, but we don't have the car seat that matches it. Blah, blah, blah. I'm never shopping with you again. And hangs up. Later, a manager comes up to me. Apparently, the lady called back complaining about the whole ordeal. She then tells me that calls like that should be passed off to a manager. F off. It must really suck having to work for a boss who's this complacent and then tells you you're wrong. Oh, that sucks, OP. This is a post by Am I Funny? Okay, so this is a story that happened around 6 months ago to my family. So here's the context. Me, my mom, and my dad live on a decent-sized boat. Look up Nordhaven 46 if you want to see it. And anchored near a beach on our way north. Since we were there, I figured I'd jump off the top of the boat for a little fun, then we'd paddleboard to the beach. This is where Entitled Parent was stalking her prey. Being my classic edgy self, I went off of the boat early and got a head start on my parents for no real reason. On my way over to climb some sand dunes, I'd run into a mom and her, what I assumed to be 5-year-old son or entitled son. How do I get on that boat? Thinking she meant in a fictional way. Well, you'd probably go up the beach, then let the current take you to the ladder. I don't want to get wet, but my son wants to jump off the boat. Could you take him on your surfboard? She meant paddleboard. Oh, wait, you actually meant you wanted to get on our boat. Sorry, ma'am, but that is our boat, and even if we weren't in a massive pandemic and somehow said yes to you coming on board, I wouldn't want a 5-year-old jumping into the water with the current that could sweep him away. What do you mean, your boat? It's on public property. You will let my son jump off your boat. She actually air quoted. And you will take him there on your board. At this point, my parents rounded the corner, seeing me talk to this lady, and started walking over. Before they got here, though, I said, all right, I can't resist a loving parent. I'll see if I can convince mine. What's going on here? Oh, this kind lady wanted to give us $1,000 to get a tour of our boat. What? I do no such thing. You're gonna give me and my son a ride to that boat and let him jump off of it right now. No, you're gonna let us leave right now so we can enjoy the time we didn't see you. My dad doesn't really make threats or fight people, but he does have an arm sleeve tattoo and a ragged look on him all the time. He can get intimidating easily. So it's no doubt that the lady backed off and was never gonna bother us again. Or so we thought. We were spending the night where we anchored, and around 10 o'clock p.m., around the time where my parents are asleep or in bed and I get snacks for anime binging, I hear a loud splash and felt a decent ripple off the side of the boat. Thinking it was some marine animal, I thought I'd check it out with a flashlight. I then opened the back door to see an effing pontoon boat tied to our boat and turned on the light to see a kid getting swept away by the current. What the hell are you doing? I was jumping in the water while this happened, so I don't think I finished my sentence. Then grabbed the entitled kid and swam to the back of their boat, and lifted the entitled kid just high enough to climb their boat before attempting to climb in as well. What I didn't notice was the fact that she untied her boat as I was saving her child. Because of me not wanting to be kidnapped, I got to the area closest to my boat and jumped for it and gripped onto the side. The commotion woke up my parents, who got to the back just in time to see me jump off Entitled Parent's boat and then Entitled Parent and Entitled Kid take off. They helped me up and I laid down for about 5 minutes before telling my parents not to call the cops, since we have no proof and that's a story for the ages. That and the fact that my parents had weed in a state that it was still illegal. So it'd be hard to not get caught. P.S. The entitled kid was doing a lot of complaining in the first interaction, but I didn't listen to him, nor did he say anything important. It also was a while ago, so the conversation probably was longer and more played out. Dude, Jesus, what is wrong with this mom? She just lets her kid jump into the middle of the ocean where currents can take people away so easily? This mom's not only entitled, she's neglective too. That was r/Entitled Parents. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for some more Reddit content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.